Monetization on YouTube. You guys, I got monetized and I wasn't even trying. So I thought I would hop on this live and talk about how it happened and maybe some advice for those of you who are also wanting to get monetized on YouTube sooner than later. Now, anybody who's been following me for a while knows that I don't put very much stock in making the bulk of my income from the YouTube AdSense program for many, many reasons. Number one, it takes a lot of watch time hours. Number one, to qualify, it takes a lot of watch time hours, and depending on your niche, to make a good income. Some of the YouTube creators that are making big bucks from being monetized on YouTube are doing that because they have a huge library of content that they've been posting for 5, 6, 7, 10, 14 years that are still getting views. And although that old content may not be getting a lot of views, it's getting enough views so that passive income keeps coming in. If you have a lot of OG YouTubers have 500 to 1,000 videos on their channels. So just imagine if any one of those videos, or if a handful of those videos were getting enough views to give them, $10, $15 a month. That adds up, right? So for me personally, I have never really been stressed about being monetized, although there are some really good benefits that come with the YouTube Partner Program, and I'm going to talk about those in a minute. But I just kind of want to tell you guys like where I was and how I ended up fast tracking my YouTube monetization. I have posted, I've been on YouTube years, but I haven't been posting as a social media strategist, but for a year or so. And it's been very sporadic and very intermittent because I work behind the scenes of a YouTube channel. And I spend most of my time working on that. But when I started offering my services as a social media strategist to other entrepreneurs, to other business owners, I had to actually create the content so I could come up with the shortcuts and the hacks and the tips for them to create content for their businesses. And that's when I started taking it quote unquote seriously. I'll say it was last fall. However, I had a little bit of a bump in the road, had some family issues going on, and took a break for 3 months, started back in February of this year. So mind you, let me just remind you of the requirements for the YouTube Partner Program or to be monetized on YouTube. Number one, you have to have at least 1,000 subscribers. Well, I had that because like I said, I've been on YouTube for a long time. Now, they're not all good subscribers, but I do have, at the time I had 12, 13,000 subscribers. But then you need 4,000 watch hours. And those 4,000 watch hours need to be calculated within the past 12 months. So that means you got a whole year, you got your 1,000 subscribers, and you have a whole year to get 4,000 watch hours. Well, it's not so easy, especially when you're just starting out. And I always tell creators that I work with, hey, you need to get like 100 videos out there before you start seeing any traction. You're growing, you're learning how to post content, you're learning what your audience likes, you're getting a few views here and there. And so according to my records, I have posted 184 YouTube videos. Now, I'm not really sure if those are old videos from my old channel or how many are shorts, but I've posted 184 times on YouTube. In February, now let me go back to the other requirement. Of course, your account needs to be in good standing. You can't have copyright strikes or anything like that. But another way, they've added this new requirement with shorts, because there's a lot of creators that are only posting shorts, which is what YouTube wants, and they're getting tons of views on them. So YouTube says if you have 1,000 subscribers and you have 10 million public shorts views in 90 days, who can do that? Maybe some creators. You can also join the program. So any of y'all working on getting 10 million views on your shorts, then do that. Now, if you are trying to get monetized the regular way with these 4,000 watch hours, please keep in mind that shorts views in the shorts feed won't count towards your public watch hours threshold. So this is just people watching your videos. I want to share with you my analytics so that you can kind of see what happened to me in the last 90 days and how I got monetized in the last 90 days. Let me see. If I can share my screen. Do that, not that. Let's put this over here. All right. I'm sharing my actual content. This is January of this year. I'm showing for 2024. You guys on Instagram can't see my screen. You'll have to watch this on the replay. 2024, I wasn't doing anything. And then I started posting. Stop it. I started posting frequently, like 2 and 3 times a week. And you can see how that content is just kind of trickling in. It was going to take me forever to get monetized because, number one, I do talking head videos. Number two, those videos are not long. I mean, I want to tell you something about how to do XYZ or on YouTube or social media or whatever. It's not going to take me that long. They're generally less than 10 minutes long. And then not everybody watches your whole video. In fact, very few people watch your full video. So I'm only getting 2 and 3 minutes of watch time content on these videos that may not even get a whole lot of views because for all intents and purposes, my channel is fairly new. But I started doing something here that caused watch time hours to go up. Here we are in April. And I believe it was April 27th that I posted my first YouTube podcast. My first YouTube podcast was on April 27th. And I don't remember how many watch time hours I had, but I remember checking and it was like 1,000 watch hours. I had maybe 1,000 over the past year. So I needed 3,000 hours of watch time. Now, little did I know that my podcast was going to cause my YouTube channel to get monetized. Little did I know that. I didn't know that at all. But here's what happened. Podcasts, my podcast at least, and most people's podcasts are long. I've listened to 2-hour long podcasts. My podcasts are around an hour long each. And even though people still, my diehard fans may watch the whole thing. If it's really something you're super interested in, you may watch the whole thing. But the average watch time is longer on those long videos than they are on just my regular talking head videos. Another thing I did was I kept posting live streams. Now, you guys know that when I come on a live stream, I'm usually on for about an hour. I don't really have that many live viewers on, maybe 10 to 20. But after the live stream, that video gets posted to my channel and people start watching it. And it'll get about as many views as a regular YouTube video. So I need to mention, though, that if you're thinking of using live streaming as a tactic, your long live streaming, you can live stream as long as you want. The live views are not going to count towards your watch time. It's only going to count after that video's been posted and those other views start racking up. I've seen some creators, start kind of like a television show on a regular basis. I know Quentin Funky Dineva has been doing it lately, or he was doing it a couple of months ago, and he had thousands of people in his live streams, and I'm just like, ugh, those views are not counting. But, hopefully those videos will continue to gain views afterwards. So, why am I excited? If I'm not, also, I don't know if y'all noticed, but I just got monetized last week, and I already made $6.69. Yay me! Wow. I'm excited. Not about that, but about that I've reached this milestone to where I'm actually a part of the YouTube Creator Program. So what are the benefits of that? I can have a shopping shelf. So I could have merch. Like I have my little t-shirts that say, create the life of your dreams. I could put a t-shirt and a merch shelf for people to buy. I could do memberships if I wanted my channel to have a membership that you could pay $2, $3, $5 a month to belong to. It activates super chats. It also activates, and this is something that's fairly new in the last few years, access to to create sponsored content for brands through the Brand Connect program. So Brand Connect is, the best way I can describe it is it's an influencer agency currently owned by YouTube. It's gone through several different hands as far as who actually owns it, but now it's owned by YouTube, and you can actually apply for brand deals back there. So I could actually go into my Earn. Maybe I could show this to you guys. Yeah, let me see if I can show it to you. Let me see. Share my screen. This one right here. If you go to Earn and you go to watch page ads, short feeds ads, memberships, super, shopping, giving, you have to, I haven't done it yet. And maybe you have to be invited. I know that the other channel that I manage is part of Brand Connect. There should be something back here to be a part of Brand Connect. Maybe you have to be invited. Watch page ads, short feeds ads, memberships, supers, shopping. Now, mind you, you have to come back here and connect all this stuff. Like I can sell, let's just say I'm not, but let's just say I was a cooking creator. I could add these affiliate offers, like some pots. I could add these pots to a YouTube video. And then when people purchase them, I would get a percentage of the revenue. Also, if I had a Shopify store and I had other products I wanted to sell, I could connect that here. So those are the benefits of being a part of the YouTube Partner Program. Those are just a few of the benefits. And it just opens, also, you have access to support. If you've been on YouTube for a while, it's no such thing as let's call customer support. Let's call tech support if you can't figure out what's going on your channel. I've worked with creators who had their channels hacked, who've had their channels broken into or taken down by hackers or whatever, and there is nobody they can call. But once you get into the YouTube partnership program, you have access to support. That way you can get help with your copyright issues. You can get help with get questions answers. You could troubleshoot if you're having any problem. It's helpful to be able to have a contact, and YouTube does not give that to you until you become part of the partnership program. So you guys that are in the chat, thanks for being here. Do y'all have any questions so far about what I've said? Or now I just decided, I honestly believe that there are a number of creators, not to mention a number of business owners, who should consider A, starting a podcast, B, going live. And this is why I did it. Because I truly do not like sitting down talking to a camera. I would rather talk to 10 or 15 of y'all right here on live, or people in my Zoom calls or stuff like that, where I can just be myself. When you put a camera in front of me and ask me to talk with nobody else in the room, it's going to take me all day. And therefore, there's going to be a lot of editing required. I don't have time to edit. I don't have time for that. And I really don't have a big enough team to get help with it right now. So I like the idea of just hopping on lives, or hopping on or creating a podcast, chopping it up, talking with you guys, talking with my podcast guests, making the same points that I would have made in a talking head video, except it's live. And that's what gave me the idea. It's like, oh my gosh, I just want to. Actually, I was answering a lot of questions on TikTok Live about content creation, about YouTube, about Instagram, about all the things. And I said, who knows that? I know lots of creators out there who are going through this right now. I know lots of creators who are just getting started. I know some creators who struggle with this. So what I did was I made myself a list of creators I could talk to and have on as guests in my podcast. Didn't have any idea how I was going to do it, but I found some really helpful software for it. If you guys are interested, I'll do a whole nother live stream on exactly how I set up my podcast. As a matter of fact, I got reached out to by one of my nieces yesterday who said she wanted to start a podcast. And I just got on a Zoom with her and I showed her all the things. And I said, this would be really great for a live stream to show other people who are interested so that they don't have to start from scratch. And what software do I use and how is it done and how do people find it and how do I get it listed? Get the audio on Apple Podcast or iHeartRadio or Spotify. All of that stuff I figured out. I'm a beginner, but I pretty much figured it out and I can share it with you too. But going live and being on a podcast is basically helping you attract more of an audience who may not be engaging with the other content formats that you make. Like my format is talking head. Maybe there's people that can't not sit down and look at somebody just talk at them, and they'd rather watch or listen to a more interactive environment. Okay, there's that. Also, I can talk about things that I know about. I can, be more authoritative. I can boost my authority that I'm talking about things that I know about, which is social media. It's really, really easy to repurpose because you can take snippets. And I know you guys have noticed some of your faves, some of the, especially business or entrepreneurial podcasters posting clips with interesting parts of their podcasts on short form. You can also still get your podcast sponsored by brands. Still, establish authority. That's what I was saying before. I can establish authority. And it's just one more way of creating content, getting content onto the YouTube platform and onto the other platforms to keep your audience growing. Because that's the name of this game in content creation. You have to constantly be creating content. So for me, it has been super easy. In fact, I think I have had 7 podcast interviews in the last 2 months and posted 6 of them. Have 3 more waiting. You guys are not going to believe the guest I have on in a couple of weeks. I'm not gonna record the podcast till the 28th, but baby is big. They're big, and I cannot wait to pick their brain. So come back. The other thing I did when I decided to start my podcast, and this is something that I suggest that you guys do, not just when you're starting a podcast, but when you're starting your channel, is come out swinging. What I mean by that is hit them with do the heavy hitting content first. If that's something that's trending, if that's a popular topic, if that's a popular guest. That's what I did. Yep, I sure did. I cheated. I would have launched my podcast earlier, probably 3 weeks earlier than I did, but I was waiting for my first guest to have some availability. And my first guest just so happened to be, and also my first guest could help me work through my technical issues without getting mad at me, was my daughter, Raven Elise, who has incredible pull out there in these social media streets. Therefore, she was my first guest. It's like, I'm not even going to fool with anybody else first. Let me get people interested in my podcast by bringing in someone I know they want to hear from. And then we could play around with the rest of them. So that's my next tip. Start with your most interesting topic, the topic that's trending the hottest. If you're doing a podcast on, a lot of podcasts I listen to have to do with television shows and movies. Maybe hit them with the most interesting stuff first. Don't start off slow and draggy. Start off with a bang. And that was also a reason why I got monetized so quickly. Now, that podcast interview with Raven Elise got more views than any of the other podcasts. And here's the thing, it's okay, because what I'm doing is I'm constantly funneling views from people who are still watching that podcast with my end card to the most recent podcast and with cards within that podcast to all of the other podcasts. So imagine this. They're watching a podcast interview with Raven Elise. They are liking it. They're liking what I have to say. And then something pops up and says, hey, are you interested in being a beauty influencer? I interviewed this person. Watch this next. Okay, maybe that doesn't grab them. A few more minutes. Hey, have you thought about making podcasts about food content, about being a food reviewer, or do you think you're the next Keith Lee? Watch this. Hey, maybe you're a business owner and you're not interested in this influencer mess. You're just interested in promoting your business and growing your business with social media. I got you. I got something for you. So my podcast, the purpose is to pick the brains of, have real conversations with content creators on a variety of different platforms, not just YouTube, who can lend their advice their experience and their insights to my audience. And if you are in my audience and you have not watched every single podcast interview I've made, or listen to it, don't watch it, listen to it. Listen to it while you getting ready for work in the morning. I promise you, you're going to learn something. You're going to hear something that you haven't heard before, because I heard something when I'm having these conversations. A lot of things were confirmed, but some things were brand new to me. So, yeah, the title caught your attention. You have to be that way. So let me look to what you guys are saying. I can't wait to get monetized. It's so hard. Alicia Danielle. It can be hard, but the key to monetization is, if I had to say one thing, because you don't have to do a podcast, but if you can figure out a way to do a longer format video that is going to get more watch time, that people are going to click on and start watching. Maybe it's story time. I don't know, depending on your niche. What is a longer form? Can you go live and talk about your subject matter? Do I work with smaller YouTubers? I do, through my Start YouTube the Right Way course. I will share also this with you guys. Let me do the screen share. So if you want to know how to work with me, go to TonyTannerScott.com. Work with me. This one right here is for newbies. Now, I don't know why that is not working. There it is. Start YouTube the Right Way. There you go. It is a course. Tons of people have been through this course. They love it. It's helpful. You can take it. This is how I work with new and small channels. If you are not new and not small, you can work with me in the YouTube growth and income course and coaching program, which is now open for enrollment. So, in this course, this is for people who already have, let's just say you're already monetized. Not necessarily through the YouTube AdSense program, but you've got brand deals, you've selling a product or whatever. You're already monetized. So that means if you've been able to make money from your client, your channel, that means you know who your audience is. That means you know what kind of content to make for them, but you just need some help getting to that next level. So this is a course and a monthly group coaching program that goes back, and we circle back to the foundation. We go through building your brand. We spend a lot of time talking about making money on YouTube, including getting monetized and affiliate income and memberships and sponsored content. We talk about what makes people click on your videos. We talk about and how to get people to click on your videos. We talk about how to keep people watching. And then the big one that trips everybody up, how to be consistent and how to have a strategy that you can implement that will help you be successful by showing up week after week on your channel for your audience. So, that answer your question. I heard someone on Reddit say YouTube will be pushing more small YouTuber content. I haven't heard that, but I won't discount it. Maybe. All right, thank you. So, anybody have questions about longer form content? All right, we can look, if you want to talk about ideas for your niche, bring it on. We're just brainstorming, and I can brainstorm with you right here live. I think I went through all of my points. Dear gosh, I hate that. I don't know why this keeps happening with my phone. Sorry, y'all. I'm going to put my website up. Boop. Look at that. www.tonytannerscott.com. Technology has been tripping me up today, y'all. I'm not going to lie. But we persevere. And so what I want to know is if you have any questions about monetization, about the YouTube Partner Program that I may know that I can answer for you, about YouTube in general. And I am going to end this live on Instagram because it keeps messing up. All right, y'all. I'm back here with just YouTube. Sorry. Those are here. Any questions? It's okay. Because if you don't, I am getting ready to go and watch the Bridgerton Season 3, Part 2 premiere. And let me know. I mean, is anybody interested in podcasts? Because I won't do the live stream unless there's an interest in how to start your video podcast on YouTube. So let me know in the comments if anyone's interested in that. If I just have one person's interested, I'm going to do it. But if nobody's interested, no sense in me wasting my time. Okay. Well, that is it. That's all I got for today. Is this... Let me just ask this question. You're interested. Thanks, Larisha. So, is this what you expected from this video that said, I got monetized in 90 days and this is how I did it? And if not, what did you expect? Because I just feel like there are every day someone hits me up and it's like, I'm ready to get monetized. It's so good. How do I get monetized? And I'm telling you how. And there's not that many questions about it. Oh my gosh. I don't know why this happens. I'm sorry. So I'm telling you about it. This is a real deal. You have to get those there is no way around getting those 4,000 hours of watch time. How do you get watch time? Period. By creating content that people are interested in, having them click on the video, start watching, and having them watch for as long as possible. So, there's lots of things that go on with having them watch as long as possible. Are you getting the clicks in the first place? You're not getting the clicks? Why not? If you're getting the clicks and they're watching, but they're only watching for a couple of minutes, that's a problem. Do you even know if they're watching for just a couple of minutes? How do you know that? From your analytics, your watch time analytics. So that's another piece of the puzzle. But what I'm telling you is that if you find a way to be on this YouTube camera. I've been on here 34 minutes. Sometimes I'm here an hour, sometimes I'm here longer. So what I've just done is I've created a 34-minute YouTube video. Hopefully that somebody's going to be interested in watching after it's posted on YouTube. Hi, Liberty. So this is a pretty long video. This is longer than my talking head videos. This is longer than my talking head videos. So it's going to boost my watch time. The thing is, I can't stop. YouTube tells you in the back end, once you get monetized, they say, okay, well, you got to keep it up. You got to keep it up. That means I can't really afford to skip a week, skip a video upload time. If I do live streams on Thursdays and podcasts on Sundays, that's the minimum I need to do. I can't afford to, which means that I have to have my content planned, which is why I already have my guests lined up and scheduled for podcasts for the next. I have one podcast interview that's been done that's going to edit and go up this weekend. I have 3 more that I'm recording. Always stay ahead of it. Which is why I have live stream content that I want to post about. Because that is what's doable for me. I cannot just pull out a camera, sit in front of the camera, film a video, get it edited. I just don't have time for that. This is what's working for me. May not work for you. Maddie, I'm at a standstill with 305 subs. Why do you think that is, Maddie? I'm going to ask you. This is how you're supposed to do it as a coach. May I coach you, Maddie? Because if you're not growing, if you're at a standstill, you're doing something wrong. And what you don't want to do is to continue to do the wrong things and go nowhere. That doesn't make sense. Something has to change, but we need to figure out what needs to change. And don't feel bad. As a smaller channel with 300 subscribers, all YouTube creators, all social media creators face the same thing. Even the biggest ones, they're trying to not stand still. They're trying to keep growing. And it doesn't get any easier. I just want to tell you, it doesn't get any easier the bigger you get. You don't get to just sit back and go, whew, Lord, I made it. No. I'm going to turn this doggone phone off. I'm going to turn this phone off because I don't know why it keeps wanting to connect to my live stream. Never mind, y'all. So, you never can do that. You're never going to be able to do that. So, you need to be honest with yourself and ask yourself, do I have the stamina for this? So, Maddie says, not being consistent. Yeah. What's keeping you from being consistent? It's either, let me guess, you don't know what you're going to create content about. You don't have it on a content calendar. You can't find the time in your day to actually do the filming and the editing. Or you just don't feel like doing the content. Which one is it, Maddie? While you're answering, Ebony wants to know, should I do lives for content that I plan to record? That depends. Is it easy for you to record? Is that recorded video going to be an interesting 30 minutes or more? If not, what's your content about? It depends. Is your audience interested in a live? Maddie, I'm waiting to hear which reason is it that you're not consistent. I don't have time. I don't feel like it. I don't have things planned. The editing takes time. Yep. It does. It takes time to edit. There are shortcuts. But this is a content creator. This is what being a content creator is. You have ideas that people are interested in. You film the content. You edit the content. you post the content, you engage with your audience, and you do it all over again 2 or 3 days later. That's the life of a content creator. And so, not to be harsh, but if your life is not set up to do that, then you're kind of wasting your time. You kind of wasted your time. Ebony, what is your content about? Planning your content a month in advance has definitely helped me. That is the minimum you should be doing. Absolutely. You have it planned, you have it on a calendar, and you keep your promises to yourself when you say you're going to do something. I really wanted to take off early today and go make something fun to eat, to watch the Bridgerton show with my friend. But I promised myself I was going to go live. So I'm here. Personal development. Oh, that would be great, Ebony. That would be great. So what I would do if I were you, and that could also be a podcast. So a podcast doesn't have to have guests. I like to have guests. My podcast will probably always have guests. Some podcasts don't have guests. It's just the person talking. And sometimes they have a guest. And sometimes there's a panel of 4 people. So personal development would also be great for the podcast. Because it just, and I guess a live stream where you're just talking to the audience, or a podcast where you're talking to the audience, because you can do podcasts live too, is about the same thing. Hopefully you can get some engagement from the audience, like I'm trying to pull out of y'all right now, to keep the conversation going and keep adding value to the conversation for the viewers that are going to watch this later. But yes, if you planned on personal development, try it. See what happens. The thing about live streaming though is, like, when you go on YouTube live stream, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, just TikTok, anybody can join. And that's kind of scary for some people. I typically don't have random people joining. I typically just have people who already know me joining. That makes it feel a little bit more comfortable for me. But live streaming, talking, going back and forth, having a conversation may give you longer watch hours. But I would still pick a topic and a subject that you're going to hit out of the park, which means people are really interested in this. Like personal development. What's a personal development topic that is trending right now? Do you know? What's a personal development topic that's trending right now? I like to ask AI and who's your audience? I'm guessing it's young women around your age, Ebony. Let's see. Is it for professional women? Is it for who? Who's your audience? I don't like that. No. I'm not even going to read y'all what it said. I have some notes, especially just starting off, since nobody's usually there, Ebony. Nobody's usually on my lives when I first hop on, a couple of people. So I'll have an idea of how I want to open it up and what I want to start talking about. And then I just have bullet points I want to make sure that I hit. Yes, staging and filming is hard. But here's the thing, Maddie. The more you do it, the better you get. The more you do it, the easier it gets. That also lends itself to being consistent and frequent. If you staged, filmed, and edited every single day for a month, I guarantee you get faster and you would get better at it. But yeah, that's the thing about live streams. I mean, I have a decent audience. I have a few thousand on TikTok, almost 10,000 on Instagram, 14,000 on YouTube. Also, my subscribers have grown. Again, with the monetization and the long form content, I've reached more people. I've gained more subscribers than ever. So what I'm trying to say about the way I got monetized, going back to that, is I was doing short, frequent videos. My watch time wasn't growing. My audience wasn't growing. And then I did longer, frequent videos, and then things took off. Particularly moms. Okay, let me see. That's trending right now for young mothers. Balancing self-care and parenting. Something like that. Time management, self-care routines, mental health practices. I would do more than just ChatGPT. I would look on YouTube. I would see what videos recently got hella views on a topic, and I would pick that topic. Like I said, first thing, hit it out the park. Get your thumbnail and your title, your catchy thumbnail, your catchy title. Text on your thumbnail if you need to draw people in. Schedule it ahead of time. I use the software called Ecamm Live, and I like it pretty much, except that it's still not letting me go live on Instagram at the same time I'm supposed to be able to do it. Irritating, but I get most traction on YouTube anyway. So a good thing to do is to schedule it ahead of time. Schedule it 2-3 days ahead of time. That way, when you schedule a live stream, it shows up in your feed and people can click on it and they can be reminded about it. They can say, hey, notify me. So they can be reminded that they wanted to watch that live stream. Now, there's someone else that I used to watch that took them a while. It took them a long time, but she only did live streams on her channel. Let me see if she's still just doing live streams. And she would be on that live stream for a while. I won't say she was talking about personal development. She is still only streaming. Y'all, Shira7. Shira7 has 646,000 subscribers. Only live streaming. She sits in her bedroom. She talks to her audience about men and women, relationships, dating, that type of thing. Any format, any niche could use this format. Now, when I first started watching her, it was slow going. But I can check the stats and I can see how long it took her to get there. And I know I started watching her 5-6 years ago. What is it? Come on. Shira71. Shira7. Y'all can look at her if you don't know who she is. She has 1,800 plus uploads. And let me see. There's a little hack here. I can see how to compare the channels because I can see back in, it only goes back as far as 2022. In 2022, she had 160,000 subscribers. I'm going to guess that back when I started watching her in like 2019, I'm going to put it here. Share 7. That's it. I started watching her way before COVID. So probably 2019, she didn't have 100,000 subscribers. She's got 600,000 subscribers, 647,000 subscribers. And then she, in the last couple of years, started posting on Instagram, and it's in the chat, Maddie. Share 7. Her content is perfect for short form, like TikTok and Instagram, especially TikTok. I mean, and she started off like comedy. She's like, I'm making fun of this stuff, but oh, I see where she has started doing blogging too. She put a little blogs in there too. But most of her stuff is live stream. Her oldest live stream is 7 years ago. So, see what happens? You just keep at it. Keep at it. Keep at it. Her videos, she's been on YouTube for 10 years. But she didn't start blowing up until she was consistently live streaming. I can't tell you how many live streams she has, but it's a bunch of them. Like, she was live streaming several times a week. It wasn't any work. She didn't have to edit anything. Just turn on a computer, just start talking. She's still live streaming three times a week. Probably about 3 times a week. All right, y'all. Any more questions? So yes, Ebony, I do recommend you either try a podcast or a live stream. Experiment with it. If things aren't moving, do something different. Don't keep doing the same thing. Maddie, if things aren't changing, don't stay stuck. Do something different to get that ball rolling. That's what I had to do. I wasn't concerned about being monetized, but I was just like, yeah, eventually, one day, I don't know. It's going to take me forever. It's going to take me years to get monetized at the rate I'm going. But I switched up, and now I made a whole $6.96 from YouTube. Kidding. But there's a benefit to being in the partner program. So you guys, I will do my next live stream actually walking you through. I mean, I hope I've planted some seeds. I hope I've encouraged some of you to consider either live streaming or podcasting. And I will share in my next live stream my whole process for my podcast in case it helps you. And or give me another idea. I'm just going to come on live and talk. Instagram, Larisha. I'm not an Instagram expert, but I do have a client who has blown up on Instagram. And it's the same thing. Content that people are interested in, not people, a specific target audience, posting on a regular basis. Right now, 2 times a day wouldn't be bad, 3 times a day wouldn't be bad. Following other like accounts so that the algorithm knows who your audience is, engaging meaningfully with those other like accounts. So, Larisha, let's just say you do content about, you show cook food that you cooked. You're posting 3 times a day, mainly reels, but also photos. You are asking for engagement in your caption. So, hey, what do you guys think about this recipe? Would you make it? You are sharing other people's content in your stories. Hey, I came across this recipe. What do you think? Or what do you think about these beans? Or how you like this? Not reacting, but sharing other people's content that are along the same lines that you're talking about. Posting your reels to your stories, interacting with stories. It's about, you're being social. Instagram is the same as any other platform. They want to see you being social. Who are you commenting on? If you are making food videos about food, but you're only commenting on fashion, that's not good. You're only engaging with fashion. You're only liking fashion. You're only liking your friends' posts. Not good. You need to tell the algorithm who your audience is. Tell the platform who your audience is by what you engage with, what you like, what you comment on, what you share, what you post. Yeah, hashtags, but not so much. And you have to do that consistently over and over and over and over again, day in and day out. And eventually the algorithm will catch on and will start serving your content out to other people. In the meantime, as you are posting these reels and these photos, you're getting better at it. You're looking at your insights and you're saying, this post did better than all my other ones. Let me repost that one, or let me do something similar. Is that making sense, Larisha, sorry. So it's not, I wish I could sit here and say, well, let me show you how to win on Instagram in 15 minutes or less. I can't. But I can give you an overview of what these platforms are wanting from you as a creator. They want your stuff to be good enough for people to come and watch you, follow you, comment on you, share you, because that brings the people to the content. If there was nothing interesting on Instagram, nobody would be on Instagram. Instagram wouldn't make any money. If there was nothing interesting on YouTube, nobody would be trying to watch YouTube, and YouTube wouldn't make any money. If there was nothing interesting, y'all see what I'm saying? So you've got to create content that's going to be interesting to somebody, a specific group of people, because that's who it's going to be easier for you to reach. If I got on YouTube or any platform that's like, oh, y'all, I'm cooking. No, I'm organizing. No, I'm doing fashion. Wait, no, I'm talking about YouTube. I'm never going to gain an audience. But if I keep talking about social media strategy, eventually I'm going to gain the audience that's only interested in that is interested in that. And that's what they want to see from me. They're not asking me to cook something. They're not asking me to organize something. Does that make sense? Okay, so that's the game. There's a game you got to play. But in order to play the game, you got to know the rules. And you have to keep those rules in mind. And there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. Some people get lucky, but most people use strategy. And educate yourself. That's why I have my programs for established YouTube creators, for new YouTube creators, and soon to be for business creators. So that you can learn better and do better and grow. Otherwise, it's not for you. Go do something else. All right, bye. I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for being here.